We got one diameter here, another diameter here, and another diameter would fit there, and we'd have this little piece left over. Well, what this means, this is the 3, and this little segment in here is 0.14159, blah, blah, blah. It's the decimal of pi. So the diameter fits into the circle 3 full times plus a little bit extra. But now, what if we, instead of thinking about our diameter, what if we thought about our radius? How many times would the radius fit in there? Notice our radius is half of the diameter. So what we're actually going to do is multiply this by 2 pi. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, radiuses would fit around there with a little bit left over. And this wouldn't be 0.14, that would be a different number, 0.28, I believe, of the radius, 0.28. It's 3.14 multiplied by 2, 0.14 multiplied by 2. Now, each of these markings is going to be the same on any circle, for any size of a circle. So this, we call each of these a radian. Okay, each of these pieces is a radian. Now, we have some weird decimal thing going on here. So we don't actually say that there are, we don't measure radians in whole numbers. So we measure radians a little bit differently. We measure radians. Remember, there's 2 pi radians that fit in a circle. Yeah, it's a good circle. If we always start here on our x-axis, and we begin here, if 2 pi radians fits in the whole circle, so that would be a coterminal angle with the angle 0. 2 pi radians, so that's 1 full circle. How many would fit in half of a circle? Well, half of a circle, half of 2 pi would be just pi. So pi radians equals 180 degrees. 2 pi radians equals 360 degrees. What about here? Well, you might have some kind of an idea. This is 90 degrees is just half of pi, so that will be pi over 2. That's 90 degrees. So pi over 2 equals 90 degrees, pi over 2 radians. And we could even do this again. We could cut this in half. That's 45 degrees. And that would be pi over 2 divided by 2, or multiplied by a half. And we would find that this would be pi over 4 equals 45 degrees. We also break it down. So this would be like 0 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees. We also break it down into 30 degrees and 60 degrees. So I just take pi halves and divide it by 3. And that'll help us find these values. So pi halves, that's 90 degrees, divided by 3. That's the same as multiplying by 1/3. Pi over 6. So this right here, 30 degrees is pi over 6. Pi over 6 radians is 30 degrees, and then double it to get to this value here. Pi over 6 times 2 equals 2 pi over 6 equals pi over 3. So pi over 3 is 60 degrees. And this is our basic approach for filling in this unit circle, this circle here, with degrees and radians. This is how we match them up. So what I would like you to do is copy this down in your notes. First do all the 45 degrees. And then do let me do this in a different color. Do the 30 and 60 degrees. I'll help you get started a little bit more on this. But if you already got it, go ahead and work on it. Okay, so this is our circle. Well, we know that 30 degrees is pi over 6. 90 degrees is pi over 2. So if we do pi over 2 plus pi over 6, that will give us our next point over. So pi over 2 plus pi over 6. Well, we will have to multiply this by 3 and make that be that. And this will equal 3 pi's plus 1 pi equals 4 pi's over 6. So 2 pi over 3. So this will be 2 pi over 3. This is our 45 degree angle. And we should say this is 90 degrees plus 30 degrees. So that would be 120 degrees. And we could do 90 degrees plus 45 degrees to get 135 degrees. 90 degrees is pi halves. 45 degrees is pi over 4. So we can do pi over 2 plus pi over 4. That's 90 degrees plus 45 degrees. That'll give us the 135 degrees, this green line here. And this will equal 2 pi over 4. 2 pi's plus pi is 3 pi over 4. Okay, in your notes, I would like you to finish filling out this unit circle. There's actually a really nice diagram in the book. It is on page 602. This is very important to complete. And yes, take a few minutes and complete this chart on page 602 in the textbook. Hopefully this is making sense. I think you're going to get it. I think you do. That's 30 degrees. That's 45 degrees. 60, 90. And again, we're all measuring from the x-axis up. And we're just going in positive values all the way around. So we got our 45 degree pieces. And we have our 30 degree pieces. And this is actually called a unit circle. So this is the length of 1, This is the length of 1, this is the length of 1, negative over there. And that's the length of negative 1. So this fits on the, is a circle centered around the origin with a radius of 1. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to do that, and I'm going to pause the video and do that myself.